Welcome to Hedwigs Army. Hosted and produced by Josh Clayton and Trevor Feldman.
I solemnly swear that I'm up to no good.
Welcome to Hedwigs Army. I'm Josh.
And I'm Trevor.
And this week we're going to be talking about Chapter 10.
Halloween.
Ooh, spooky. But before we get into that, we do have some weekly Harry Potter news to go over. I have 3 things to talk about this week. So the most recent article to come out was an article that officially lists J.K. Rowling's Harry Potter ebooks sales, how much she's made off ebooks, and that is at £33 million. So I don't know what that converts to in dollars.
I mean, I can look that up real quick if you want.
So Trevor's going to look that up, but £33 million on ebooks alone for Harry Potter. Yeah, that's crazy. Okay, so I was looking that up. So yeah, £33 million on ebooks, and she's just racking in the cash, adding to her already giant fortune from Harry Potter.
Oh,
There we go. What?
Wait, what?
What's up?
Yeah,
Anything over there?
Heck?
One sec, guys. I'm just gonna look it up real quick.
Okay.
Oh,
Pounds sterling.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the same number you came out with?
What? Yeah. Yeah,
42.
pounds sterling. So $42,513,735. Roughly. So $42 million.
So wait, does that mean the pound is more than the dollar, right?
Yeah, one pound is more than $1. So that's according to that. So
How
$42 million or 33 million pounds, and if we're wrong, sorry. So I can tell you for sure it's 33 million pounds, and I'm pretty sure that means it's $42 million.
That's impressive.
Yeah, well, it's a lot of money on just ebooks. That's just ebooks.
That's why I did a double take. I was like, wait, huh?
Right.
Are we doing our math right?
Right, yeah, that's insane. So, moving on, the next piece of news I have here. It's a little bit of a sadder story, but it's a heartfelt one. It's Daniel Radcliffe. You know, we don't hear much about... So, if you keep up with Harry Potter, you know you don't hear much about the stars after, Harry Potter, unless they're in other movies. You don't hear much about them. But we do get this article.
Which means we haven't heard a lot about...
Rupert Grint.
Yeah, because he hasn't really done a whole heck of a lot movie-wise.
No, he kind of fell off, just altogether.
I mean, Radcliffe's been in a couple movies.
Well, yeah, he's not really big. Emma Watson's more of like a feminist movement.
She was what? Beauty and the Beast, I think was her last movie.
Yeah, the last big movie, yeah.
She was also in that other weird movie about, nothing against her. It was not my favorite movie that she's been in. I wish I could remember it. It was something to do with like technology, like with the cameras.
Oh, yeah, I know what you're talking about. I don't know the name of it.
It was,
it's like a futuristic thing.
Yeah, it just wasn't for me.
I never saw it. I don't really care. I never saw Beauty and the Beast yet either. So.
Nah, me either.
No, they're always gonna be.
But she's probably the one we hear about
Hermione
most.
and Ron to me. So
it'll be nice to hear something about
Daniel.
Yeah,
Harry
Mr.
Potter.
Radcliffe over here.
Mr. Potter himself. But this has nothing to do with the movie. This is actually a video that he sent, a video message that he sent to a 4-year-old Harry Potter fan who goes by the name Gigi. And unfortunately, she does have a terminal illness, and doesn't list exactly what her illness is, but I mean, it's terminal. It's a terminal illness, so either way, it's not good. And he said video message to her where he says, "Hi Gigi, nice to meet you. I hope you're having a lovely day wherever you are. I'm so sorry I look so scruffy and that it is so loud, but I wanted to send you lots of best wishes and love to you, and we are all thinking about you." And it's just nice, to see big stars taking time out of their lives to,
to be more down to earth and take care of people who...
Yeah, and in media today, they're always looking for the negative story because that gets more drama. But it's nice to see... It's nice that we don't see much negativity from them at all. But it's nice to see the positive messages,
Well, right. And see somebody, like Daniel Radcliffe or Emma Watson or Rupert Grint. It's people who, like, a lot of people look up to because they played, their favorite person in the book series,
right,
that shaped their life. So, like,
right.
this book series has changed my life, and to see somebody who played that character, Harry
reaching
Potter,
out to me, yeah,
right?
Because that
like,
I mean, she's also 4 years old. That is Harry Potter to her,
Right?
It's
yeah,
not Daniel Radcliffe. That's Harry Potter.
To have somebody who you've never met in your life, and who you're like, that's never gonna happen. I'm never gonna meet that person. For them to personally, take some time out of their day to tell you, like, hey, people are thinking about you.
Right.
I mean, he is looking pretty scruffy in that picture, though.
Yeah.
So it's kind of funny that he pointed that out. He's like, I'm sorry.
Now.
It's kind of funny that he was like, I'm sorry, I'm looking pretty scruffy. It's like,
right.
You're not wrong.
That is funny, yeah. I'm not gonna lie. Okay, so moving on now to the last article I have here, and it's actually kind of a bigger one that I've seen lately. It's not like super new, but it's newer. So if you haven't heard it already, there's articles going around about the reason behind Harry's lightning bolt scar. And if you haven't, I'm sorry, I can't.
Just looking at the little kid that they have down there.
Yeah, young Hermione, and
what?
she's just like...
What?
Yeah.
Just big eyes.
So, if you've played the Harry Potter games, or if you know any lore behind the spells, the spells all have wand movements that go with them.
Unless it's nonverbal.
Unless it's nonverbal, obviously, but wand movements that are associated with them. So, the Avada Kedavra spell, the wand movement for that is a backwards lightning bolt scar. Or what? Backwards
I was like, wait.
Sorry. A backwards lightning bolt, so like a backwards Z, basically. Or maybe it's a forward Z. I don't know. It's... Oh, yeah, here it is right here. So it's a backwards Z, so it's like, like, think of Harry's scar in a mirror. That's what it is. So, they're saying, okay, well, that is the scar made from the wand movement from Avada Kedavra, because that's a spell that we was hit with. I have two problems with this. Well, I have a problem with this, and I read a debunking theory. Number one, if you got scars from the spells, like if it left scars on you from the wand movement, then how come no one's ever had a scar like that? I mean, yes, he's the only one to survive it, but is that the only spell that leaves a scar? Or if somebody's been hit with a Avada Kedavra, how come they never said, "Hey, there's a scar on him" like that?
I'm gonna sound like a terrible person, but look at the Longbottoms. They didn't have a scar per se, but they were pretty mentally scarred from.
Okay, but that is 100% different.
Right?
They are messed up because they were driven insane with the Cruciatus curse. It mentally it
left a scar.
jumbled their brain, but didn't leave a scar. Okay, did not leave a scar.
Okay,
and nobody's ever seen a scar like this before, so it's not like all the victims of Avada Kedavra have this scar on them.
Well, and also you got to take into account that nobody's been hit with survived a spell like this, but also nobody's really been ever hit with a spell whilst it rebounded on somebody who has a Horcrux.
Right. Okay, I get that.
So maybe that's probably why, because he says...
That's a stretch, I think, personally. But, okay, again, I can't debunk that specifically, but my theory is debunking this. My theories. And there is one article that I read that does debunk this, I think, professionally. But here's my theories. Is, number one, I can't argue about the Horcrux thing because he's the only one. There is no argument there. He's the only one that you can't say, "Oh, well, this guy did," But I don't
because we don't have any of that.
I think that's way too dramatic to put it like, oh, only if a rebound on somebody with it makes you a Horcrux.
Well,
because the scar is still there when he's not a Horcrux.
I'm not going there. I'm saying and I don't mean to interrupt you, but because Harry's scar always hurts when Voldemort's there.
No, I know that. Well, yeah,
so maybe that's where the Horcrux part comes in. Like he marked him as
obviously
equal.
does has something to do with the scar with Voldemort, and I think the Horcrux definitely is the reason behind the pain in it. But what I'm saying is, it seems too. Okay, for lack of a better way of saying it seems too made up to say, oh, well, you only get a scar like that if you're, if the scar rebounds and unintentionally makes you a Horcrux and links you to the person that made you a Horcrux. Like, that's just like, but all right, now we're grasping at straws here. Why?
But even, I guess, I poke a hole in my own theory is, then... If that's the case, then why didn't it go away when
that's what I said.
Voldemort dies?
And the pain did go away, but the scar stayed. So maybe you can argue, okay, well, scar is permanent. But that's my point: is if the scar is the wand movement of Vada Kedavra, how come nobody's ever had it on them, even if they die? Or unless this is the only spell that leaves a scar, how come no one's ever had a scar, and then from other spells they have wand movements?
Well, it's never really directly said somebody ends up with a scar because a lot of times you use those spells. Obviously, those people haven't lived, so we've never really had to go into detail about them. God, the Hermione gift gets me every time, man.
Yeah, no, it's not. It doesn't really list it. Just that's the thing is there. As far as I've seen, there hasn't been like a actual, okay, this is this thing. It's been, oh, well, somebody saw that the wand movement is this and Harry's scar is this, so they must be correlated. Which, first of all, it's backwards, why would it be backwards? I mean, if it's going to be that exactly.
Well, because it also rebounded, so maybe...
maybe, but...
Like, the curse... Like, that's where the curse rebounded. He's tried to hit him in the head.
I mean, maybe, but
and
still,
then, it left the mark as it, rebounded and hit Voldemort. Because what if it's, he absorbed it, right? And then the point that it comes back out is his forehead for whatever reason.
I don't know. I mean, maybe, it's weird, but that's what I'm saying. It doesn't make sense. It's too. If you were to add this, it would make sense to say, okay, well, when you use a spell, it leaves a scar in that motion with that, in the same motion, which would be flipped around from the way Harry's scar is, and it leaves it, the spell itself leaves the scar. Once you start saying, oh, maybe it's because it rebounded, it flipped it, and it only happened because he got made, then it's like, okay, why are we even grasping at straws here? What's the point? So, you know what, we can argue about this, we can go about this all day, because there is no actual thing behind it.
I got one more thing, and then we can kind of move on. What if, because it's also one of the few times you've ever seen, love as...
Oh, see,
something
I
like
don't
that.
like this, so...
I was thinking, what if maybe that had something to factor into it?
See, but again, I think we're just grasping at straws here. When we start adding in, it's like we've already had...
Well, because we don't have the authors
that's what I'm saying.
telling us about this stuff.
That's what I'm saying, if you're going to add, and that's the thing, it's all just theory at this point, so it could just be completely uncorrelated, and I'll tell you again in my article that I think is the real reason behind it, but... There's no actual saying, okay, well, this. There's really no lore behind that. It's just, there's no, nothing you can argue behind it that's been hinted here and there. So, a lot of the Harry Potter, back and forth, there's both sides have, hints and little things that have happened that kind of lead us to a decision. That is just the fact that they look similar. So, you can't really keep going about it, and I hate when we start grasping, okay, maybe it has to do with the Horcrux and love. It's no offense, but I just, if they're going to get that deep into it, why even add that in, period, It's crazy. Now let me talk about the theory I read, that it's probably it. I would say it's about 99% accurate, and it answers all of our questions.
Okay.
So, the theory is that they have no correlation in the Harry Potter series, and here's why. So, the Harry Potter book, first book, came out, and that's when we learned of the lightning bolt scar.
Right.
Okay, so much before anything else, the book came out. And then in the Harry Potter games, they had to add wand movements to make it more visual. It's more of a visual and game thing. They added wand movements into it.
Well, in the first book, we also get some, like, the swish and flick part that we're going to get to in the chapter.
Well, yes, but...
So we do get some hand movements, but like you said, we don't get a hand movement for a lot of spells.
Well, that's a swish and flick, but I mean, yes and no, but you will also notice in a lot of... Like, that's the only time I ever really noticed where there's specific wand movement.
Right.
And it's just swish and flick, like... Swish and flick. And it's not really like, I mean, it's a wand movement, but it's also just kind of, I don't know, it's hard to explain. It's more just like a you gotta like have some into it. So okay, maybe wand movements, but were mentioned to a point. But what, like the actual wand movements, like the pictures you see on Wikipedia, were not added until the games came in.
Mm.
So if you go back, it's kind of like, well, the movement was added. Might have been added based on the fact that he has a lightning bolt scar, not the opposite way around. The scar based on the fact that that's the wand movement.
Right.
So, in the game, they were just added. You don't hear about wand movements, or even if you watch the movies, you don't see specific wand movements really, like when they're in the midst of battle and things like that. When you see Avada Kedavra, he doesn't go Avada Kedavra and he do a Z. No, he just Avada Kedavra. You know, you don't see him.
Nice.
And the problem comes with the J.K. Rowling herself saying the games are canon. So if you do take that, then the wand movements are canon. But again, are they But that's the thing is, where is it created? That specific one created from the scar, or was the scar created from that? So there's really no point in going back and forth because there's no, we'll update if there is like an update about it. But as of right now, I don't think J.K. Rowling, as far as I've seen, has commented on it, and it's like there's nothing to base on other than the fact you have the scar and the picture of the wand movement. But I just thought that was interesting because it's like, I've seen that debated a lot lately, and it's like you can kind of debunk it if you think of it that way, but at the same time, if the games are canon, that means the wand movements are canon, and when was the wand movement created? That's when you have to go back to.
Right, and
before
did
the
J.K.
scar,
Rowling
after
have a heavy hand in it or not?
Right.
Kind of thing.
Right.
Gotcha.
So it's like, is she going to count those as canon as well, or is she speak up too soon saying the games are canon before, That's the thing, is you look at 20 plus years after the first book came out, you're looking more than 10 years since the last movie came out. I mean,
dear God, has it been that long?
Yeah.
Right? I'm old.
It came out in 2007, the last movie, right? Or it was the last book that came out in 2007.
Oh my God.
I'm losing it. Anyway, either way, it's
Yeah.
been over for a long time. And now you have things that you've said probably so many years ago, and somebody's going to dig and find ways to use that against you. It's just how it goes. So it's like, did she mean it? Did she actually mean that everything in the game is canon, or only some of the things in the game canon?
Mm.
So, anyways, let's move on because we're already 20 minutes deep almost, and we haven't even gotten to the story yet, the chapter yet. So,
but some of that stuff is very important to talk about.
Oh yeah, because that's the thing. We have, not only do we want to talk about the Harry Potter series, what it was, but what it still is today.
Right.
And that's very important because things like that come up, and I love that stuff. Is the series never dies out because there's always new things to find out. But anyway, so let's get into the chapter. We'll start off. Trevor's got the chapter.
Nice little summary for you
the
guys.
nice little rough. What did I call it last week? The summary. The whatever. He's got the.
It's like a Cliff Notes version.
Yeah, he's got the outline of the chapter basically, and then I wrote the in-depth
synopsis.
summary.
That's, I think,
Synopsis. There we go.
Or
So,
I think you said synapsis or something.
whatever.
Like
It's all the same. Synopsis. So Trevor's got the synopsis of the chapter. Go ahead, Trevor. Whenever you're done laughing at me.
that. All right, so it's kind of a pretty quick chapter, but a lot of stuff happens in it. Harry receives a new Nimbus 2000. And it's stated to be from Professor McGonagall, which is really interesting. to have for Quidditch, because he obviously can't buy something. Oliver Wood has him come down to the Quidditch pitch to learn about Quidditch as a whole, the rules, the different types of balls, those kind of things. They practice with golf balls for the snitch because it was getting late in the day, and they wanted to still be able to see. And then we find out 2 months go by. Harry's realizing that 2 months has gone by since he started at Hogwarts, and now it's Halloween. During Charms in the morning, Hermione corrects Ron on his pronunciation of a spell, which happens to be Wingardium Leviosa, which irritates him. And then as they're walking out, Ron decides he wants to say some choice words about her, causes her to be visibly upset about it, and she's running and she's crying about it. There's rumors that she's in the girls' bathroom crying. She's been crying like pretty much all day. Later that day, they're going for the Halloween dinner. And just as Harry is reaching for some food, Professor Quirrell comes in. He runs in. He's out of breath. And he announces that there's a troll in the dungeons. Harry realizes that Hermione is in danger, tells Ron, and Ron kind of begrudgingly agrees, okay, let's go find her. So when they're looking for her, just happen to see a troll down the corridor, and they see it go into a room. They run next to that room, they lock it in there, and then as they're going to leave, Hermione screaming. They take a look back, realize that, oh, that's the girls' bathroom. So they go back, they unlock the door, they come in there, do some, pretty good beat down on this troll to save Hermione. And just after they save her, Professor McGonagall, Professor Snape, and Professor Quirrell all walk in. And she is not happy with them. She reprimands them. She takes 5 points from Gryffindor because Hermione decided she lied about her whereabouts and why she was there. And then they get back to the common room, and they bond closer as friends because that's what you do when something like that happens.
All right.
I know it's a little bit longer of a summary and a little bit in detail, but
it's fine.
I mean,
it's fine. My guideline's way longer than that. But yeah,
like I said, there's a lot of stuff in there.
You hit all the main points. But like I said, it's a little synopsis, so now we need to dive in detail. So that gives you kind of an idea of what we're looking at overall. But don't worry, we are going to go piece by piece through this because there's a lot of pieces in this, and a lot of things that are going to stand out later in the book as well that happen in this chapter. So, starting off, we see Malfoy. He sees Ron and Harry, so Malfoy is shocked to see Harry and Ron still at school the next day. While he thought for sure they would be expelled, Harry and Ron were discussing their late-night dog finding as an adventure, and they wanted to have another one. Let me stop you right there.
That's interesting that you would be talking about something that's technically you shouldn't have seen and it's forbidden, and you're just like, oh yeah, casual conversation.
Right. And I've been 11 years old. There's thrill-seeking, and I'm invincible. If you find a thread of dog and have a near-death experience, the last thing I'm going to want to do is go on another adventure. Hello?
Also on
and
Draco's point, you expected them to be expelled, right? I'm assuming, they're first years, right? So if something was to happen to a first year,
all right,
it'd be pretty hard not to notice, oh, hey, we're making this big announcement. Harry Potter has been expelled.
Well, I don't think they would go through all of that, but yeah, I don't think they make a big announcement about it. I feel like they're the
But he's
kind
also
of
famous 'cause you
McGonagall
would
would keep it.
notice
Well,
that.
you would know, yeah. And I mean, if he didn't get expelled for the Quidditch thing, then come on. But the other thing I want to note here is we're in chapter 10. We just started chapter 10. How many times has Harry almost been expelled already? Like
At least twice.
At least
Actually,
twice.
no.
No, a couple times I think.
I mean, if
But
he had gotten caught with the midnight duel,
that's what I'm saying.
would have been 3. He's almost been expelled 3 times.
Well, that's goes with the dog thing. But there's a couple times, and like out of everything he's done, he's sneaked around. Like he's been here for 2 months. He's had his life changed for the better for 2 months. All he ever wanted to do is get out of Dursley's house. He has a chance here, and he's already almost blown it at least 3 times in 2 months. Like, bro, why don't you just chill for like a minute? Because I've gone to school. I went to school for 12 plus years, and I got detention 1 time and in-school suspension 1 time in 12 years. And both of them were very minor things. They weren't sneaking off into the middle of the night and almost getting myself killed against school rules. Or, like, bro, you've been here for 2 months. What are you doing?
Yeah, I didn't have that clean of a
My
record.
God. But still, 2 months, bro.
That's
Oh my
impressive.
God.
I give him
And it
that.
was first year. Okay, I digress.
Not a good impressive.
Yeah, it's insane. So, Harry told Ron about the package that was moved from Gringotts to Hogwarts. Again, I'm a little impressed that he even remembers this with such a minor detail. And, like, I mean, not remember, but that he even finds this to be importantly worth talking about. It's just, my mind as an 11-year-old did not think that way. They tried thinking of what it was, but they could not come up with any ideas. Hopefully not. Neville was still in fright about the dog the next day, and Hermione
As he should
refused
be.
to even speak to the boys at all, which they saw more as doing him a favor than a punishment.
Which is a little messed up. I mean, I know they're 11.
11-year-olds.
I know they're 11, so they don't quite have that, like, hey, there's this girl that's talking to us. We should treat her with respect.
Right. And
You know.
I think I'm on the other opposite. I think Hermione's a little dramatic. Like,
I mean, there are times, but she's
tried to
thinking
stop
level head.
them. You went with them. They didn't force you to go and almost get you killed. Like, you need to take a little. You're 11 years old. You need to take a little bit of a chill pill. You get worked up for nothing.
I feel like she evens them out because, like, him and Ron are kind of like the, hey, let's go do something really stupid. And she's like the conscience telling them, hey, yeah, you probably shouldn't do. I'm going to go with you.
Later, but like, they
shouldn't
don't
be
even
doing
like her right now. Like, just chill. Like, why do you even care that much? Are you that worried? I mean, I know she's really just worried about Gryffindor's points, but I feel like she's also worried about them because, like, I'm sure there are, like, Fred and George are there. There are other rule breakers. You're only harping on these 2 boys that don't even want... I can't
wait till we get to that.
Right, they don't
chapter.
even want you around, and you're harping on them. Like, just chill. Like, just worry about you, girl. You're like...
I can't wait till we get to that chapter where they, like, the Weasley brothers, they, like, dip out on Hogwarts. I can't wait till
that's... Yeah, like
that
85
chapter's
years.
gonna be amazing.
In, like, 85 years.
Still, I can't wait for that.
Right. So, what do we see? While they were eating, Hedwig delivered Harry's new broom, the Nimbus 2000.
Actually, I think it was like carried by 6 screech owls.
Oh, well, really?
Yeah. It says, as the owls flooded into the great hall as usual, everyone's attention was caught at once by a long, thin package carried by 6 large screech owls.
You're right.
I mean,
okay, so,
hey, don't get me wrong. If Hedwig is carrying this and it took 6 screech owls, that's impressive.
You're right. I guess I skipped over that a little more than I thought. But I guess I just assumed it was Hedwig. But either way, so the package gets delivered. It was signed from Professor McGonagall on a note that told Harry not to open the broom at the table. Now, here's my first note comes in. What's up?
I think it's the same thing I'm thinking. What? Dude is Harry is really lucky that, like, instead of opening the package, which is catching everybody's attention, he opens the letter first.
Oh, I mean... Yes, that's not what I was gonna say.
It's like, how awkward would it be? You open the package, right?
Yes,
Realize.
but also if you get a present, I think it's just courteous to open to see what's from before you open the package.
I mean, you're not wrong. That's what I would have done.
That's just courteous. But yeah, he is lucky because he's 11-year-old, unsupervised about it. You know what I mean?
Well, and
No
it
one's
says,
like,
do not open this package at the table.
Right.
Like, what if you had already got through it, that opens, goes, oh.
oops, yeah.
Whoops.
Well, man, my bad. My bad. But no, I have a little bit of a different note here, and I'm kind of like calling out McGonagall here. Like you don't want him open at the table because other kids will be jealous, basically, and you want to kind of keep it as a secret. So what do? You make a big scene by having 6 Screech Owls bring in a huge package that's in the shape of a broomstick, and then have it dropped to Harry. Why not just go up to the Gryffindor common room? Hey, it's McG, it's McGonagall. Let me in. Hey Harry, I got a little gift for you. She's not trying to be secretive about it. She signed it, McGonagall.
No, but
just deliver it privately. Why?
Like a couple chapters ago, when we were talking about how Hagrid delivers a note, dude, why can't you guys? I don't I'm just confused as to why don't you just find said person?
Okay, Hagrid though, he's probably just lazy, which is fine. McGonagall, she wants it to be a secret, so she literally has it delivered to him in front of the entire school during breakfast. The entire school there. Okay, maybe not the entire school because some kids sleep in, but at least a great big portion of it. Instead of just walking it up to Gryffindor common room, which she has access to, and hand-delivering it in front of a handful of Gryffindors. And saying, hey, don't tell this to anybody.
Yeah.
Because what happens right away? I'll tell you what happens right away once I find my spot. So Ron was at the table at the broomstick, and Malfoy was in shock when he got showed up by Flitwick when he tried to rat on Harry. So I kind of skipped over that a little bit, but basically Malfoy walks up to him and he's like, hey yo, I know you got a broomstick and I'm going to go tell on you. So Flitwick walks by and he's like, hey, Harry's got a broomstick. Okay, so right there. It's delivered, told to be secretive, delivered, and literally instantly before it's even opened, Malfoy knows what it is. Not very secretive.
He also grabs it, he snatches it from Harry, so he gets to feel it.
Still. Okay, but still, it's not secretive because you put it in a situation where that can be done. Number two, instead of, which I don't remember if I wrote, but instead of, trying to deter him, Ron's like, yeah, dang right, he got a broomstick, and it's better than yours, blah, 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 blah.
Oh, actually, that goes into
nice
mine.
going, Ron. You at least tried to deflect it. Hang on 1 second. Let me just finish and then we can jump into you. At least you could try to deflect it. And then, number 3 mistake, Flitwick comes up, and he's like, hey, so that's the broom. What model? Or McGonagall told me about the circumstances. What model is it? So, again, right in front of Malfoy, talking openly about it, which, also goes in my next note, and then we'll jump to you because it all goes together, is why did McGonagall not tell the staff to also keep it a secret if she wants Harry to keep it a secret? Because Harry's like, alright, I'm going to keep it a secret. Malfoy's like, oh, that's a broomstick. Ron's like, yeah, it's a broomstick and it's better than yours. And Flitwick's like, oh, you got your broomstick. I heard about the circumstances. What model is that? And Harry's like, bro, it's supposed to be a secret. What in the F, Sorry, go on. I just thought that was funny because, she's like, let's keep it a secret. She delivers it in front of everybody. Ron tells Malfoy what it is. And Flitwick doesn't even, play dumb about it. Oh, you got a broomstick? I don't think you're supposed to have that. Okay, so this was the worst thought-out plan in the history of Hogwarts. Besides the Sorcerer's Stone, which we'll get into in 17 chapters. Go ahead.
My thing was when we were talking about Ron. Ron saying something like, oh, it's not any old broomstick. It's Nimbus 2000. What'd you say you got at home, Malfoy? A Comet 260? And, I'm thinking oh, this is kind of like iPhones, oh, what iPhone do you have? You have the iPhone 5? Oh, I got the iPhone 10XS, blah, 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 blah. Okay.
Or a car. Like, oh, you got a Jeep Cherokee. Well, I got a Dodge.
I got a outfitted Hummer. Oh,
I got a Dodge Charger. Yeah, right. Yeah,
like, okay, all right. I mean, seemingly like they're not like what Malfoy has isn't like terrible. It's like, oh, you know, and even Ron's like, Common Art looks flashy, but they're not in the same league as Nimbus. But like, still, like, it seems like the Nimbus is like relatively new. Just from that, I mean, we find out later that it's a newer model. But
well, we find out in Diagon Alley it's the newest one.
Right,
all
but
the way
it
back
doesn't
in
seem
chapter
like
3 or 4.
It seems like broomsticks are kind of like, again, like iPhones, where like they come out with one pretty much every year or year and a half kind of thing. Like they're relatively like they make adjustments to them.
Right. Yes, I think broomsticks are like. I mean, because I don't think you could compare broomsticks to iPhones because iPhone, the next model comes out as a money scam to basically like, oh, we made the screen 1/4 of an inch bigger and we added waterproof capabilities that only work if you put a plug into it.
Not that we're, you know.
And I have an iPhone. I'm not bashing iPhones. I'm just saying that's the truth is what it is. But the next Nimbus is like it's actually faster and it's lighter and it's blah, blah, blah. Like we've done work to make it. I think they put more work into it. I think it's a lot more.
Well, yeah. And then
I think it is better than the last one.
Well, and then we get like the Nimbus 2001 and the Firebolt.
Yeah, just like cars.
In like 7 books, you know, we hear about like the upgrades minimum at least 2 more times. So it seems like they update these broomsticks relatively often.
Right, and they must not be too much better because you got to remember in book 2, to jump ahead a little bit, Malfoy has the Nimbus 2001 while Harry still has Nimbus 2000, and Harry beats him in Quidditch.
Well,
so it's not like, oh, I'm better than you because I got a better broomstick. That doesn't really matter.
I mean, if you have like models so close together, it's kind of like, okay, I have the iPhone 8 and you have like the iPhone 7. They're going to perform relatively similar. Yeah, the iPhone 8 is going to be a little bit better, but like depending on who knows how to use it and how to work around certain things, like they perform relatively.
I get what you're saying. Okay.
I'm not disagreeing.
No, I know. I'm just saying, like, I think it matters, but it doesn't matter. It's just like cars.
Yeah, depends on who's driving it.
Cars 2019 and 2018 isn't gonna be much different.
That new car, though.
Anyways, so is that all you had for that?
No, actually, a little bit after the Professor Flitwick shows up and stuff, and he's like, not arguing. I hope. And Malfoy trying to on the DL be like, hey, can you get him expelled again? You know.
Well, yeah, he rats on him.
Right, and when Harry answers, he's like, a Nimbus 2000, sir. And it's really thanks to Malfoy that I've got it. I was like, he's not wrong.
Well, it's true. Hashtag got him. Which, when I get into my next part here, is another thing that annoys me about Hermione. Not minding her. Like, I love Hermione. She's she's literally my favorite character. I just book one Hermione up until they fight the troll. Just the end of the chapter, it drives me absolutely insane. So, speaking of which, on their way back upstairs, Hermione interrupts them and gives them a hard time. Basically, she overhears him joking around about Malfoy being the reason he got the broomstick, and then Hermione's like, oh yeah, blah, 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 blah. Like, I don't remember what she says. You got the book open. What did she say? So I suppose you think it's a reward for breaking rules.
Yeah.
Like, first of all, Miss Know-It-All, like, chill out. Yes, he broke the rules, but, like, even McGonagall is like, hey, we're going to get you a spot on the Gryffindor Quidditch team. Like, and she's stern and strict. Like, chill out. It's not that big of a deal. You're making it like it's like he murdered somebody. He literally broke a flying rule, and he did get rewarded for it. He did. He literally did get rewarded for it. So, like, just chill. Like, why are you mad at him? Be mad if you're mad that he didn't get in trouble. Be mad at the people that didn't punish him, not him. And he was doing his friend a favor. That's what you do. Sometimes you break the rules to help friends out or help people out. You know what I mean?
Right.
To a point. I'm not saying murder people just to help somebody out. But, like, unless that's the only option. And, like, they're... Okay, not going to get into that debate. I'm just saying, you know. Like, sometimes you got to break some rules and do some things you wouldn't normally do to help people out.
Right.
You know? So, she needs to chill out. Basically.
Yeah, no, I'm not disagreeing with you. She's, when it comes to that, she's a little bossy.
Yeah, by the way, I did have a link here for
the broomsticks.
Different broomsticks.
Okay, I'd actually love to see this.
I was gonna go over it. I think because it's not like an order. I don't think. Well, it might be an order of like the new. Oh no, it's like an alphabetical order. So just to run through it real fast. We got, just because it's interesting, because you hear about some of them, you don't hear about most
Albus
of them.
Dumbledore, though.
Yeah, no. The Young so you got a couple of different companies. So you heard about the clean sweeps, you've heard about the comets and the Nimbus, obviously.
I actually don't think we heard about the clean sweeps.
Yeah, we have, because the
Weasley
Ron
brothers.
and the Weasley brothers. So you also got the Ellerby and Spudmore, Flight and Barker, and Universal Brooms Ltd, which I actually think is probably...
The Firebolt, I think.
No, I actually think that's probably like the actual real life
Really?
Universal Studio. I'm going to go to it. I want to know. I'm pretty sure that's like Universal Brooms. I'm pretty sure that's... oh no, it's actually in there. Quidditch Through the Ages. It's its first appearance. There's not much about it. With a broomstick manufacturing company that released a shooting star. My bad. It is It's Universal Brooms. Sounds like
so
it'd be
they were like
a
one of the
Universal
first people to
Studios
do
thing.
it, and they just went
Yeah,
under.
so they released the shooting star in 1955. Well, no, not the first. I think there were brooms before 1955, but it was just a broomstick company.
Right, they were like the first in the like kind of modern wave of them.
So the company went out of business in 1978. So my bad. I thought because Universal Studios, Universal Broom Ltd. I figured they would be, but actually in the Harry Potter universe.
Ooh.
So here's all the models we have. I'm just gonna kind of run through these, and they're in alphabetical order, not order of like date and stuff. We got the Airwave Gold, the Australian Flyabout, the Blue Bottle, Clean Sweep 1, Clean Sweep 2, Clean Sweep 3, Clean Sweep 5. They skipped 4. Don't know why. Clean Sweep 6. Clean Sweep 7, Clean Sweep 11. That makes no sense. Skip 8, 9, and 10. Then you get into the comments. You got the Comet 140, Comet 180, Comet 260, Comet 290. You got the Firebolt. You got the Firebolt Supreme, which I'm going to actually tab here and look at in a second. You got the Moon Trimmer. You got the Nimbus 1000, the Nimbus 1001, the Nimbus 1500, the Nimbus 1700, the Nimbus 2000, and the Nimbus 2001. You got the Oak Shaft 79. Huh?
So this might be a lot.
Oh. You got the Shooting Star, the Siberian Arrow, the Silver Arrow, the Star Sweeper XXI. Don't know what that is.
21, I think.
21. Boom. There you go. I'm not good at stuff like that. You got the Swift Stick, the Thunderbolt.
Or the 101, maybe?
I don't know. The Thunderbolt
10,
VII. The Tinder Blast, the Transylvanian Barb, the Turbo XXX. Triple X. The Twigger 90. Don't like that word. The Varapados.
As soon as you said it, I was like, he's going to hate that.
The Varapados and the Yajirushi.
Ooh, see, the Yajirushi, I'm pretty sure that's a Japanese model.
Yeah, I would think that's a pretty safe bet. So now I want to look at the Firebolt Supreme because that's... So the Bulgarian national Quidditch team played with the Firebolt Supreme in the 2014 Quidditch World Cup, and it's mentioned on Pottermore. So that's interesting.
So like 20 years after the fact, they made like the newest model of the Firebolt.
And then the Yajirushi with a world-class broomstick developed in what, Trevor?
Japan, and
unveiled for the first time during the 2014 Quidditch World Cup, where the Japanese national team played with the brooms.
Oh, so those last two that we just went over, like basically the brooms that probably went against each other.
Yeah. That's interesting.
That's kind of cool.
So
what? Like England went against, probably England.
England against Japan. Yeah.
And I heard somewhere that Japan is actually really good at Quidditch.
Yeah, I think you go look it up. So I think it's maybe at the end of the
phenomenal.
chapter here we'll take a little look-see at it.
Speaking of Quidditch.
So, speaking of Quidditch. So, where was I? Sorry.
I think this is where we start to get to learn them about Quidditch. You got to the part where...
Right, here I got it right here. So now Harry and Ron tell Hermione off and stammer, Harry and Ron tell her off, Hermione, and she stammers away. Harry rushed through dinner and went to admire the new broomstick with Ron, which, okay, it's new. He wants to look at it. That's cool. The next day, Harry heads out to the Quidditch field and is taken back by how big everything is. Now, well, yeah, we'll get into it.
I feel like a Quidditch thing, the pitch, as they call it, has got to be at least like a football field, maybe a football and a half.
I don't know. I remember
Which is
hearing
pretty
something about
big.
it, but it's tall is the thing, because obviously
The stands, yeah.
and even the stands are tall. So, the next day, yeah, Harry, he decides to take. So Harry decides he's gonna take flight on his broomstick until Oliver Wood shows up, and once Wood gets there, he flags him down so they can begin their first Quidditch training. Wood goes over all the balls with them, and what each of them are for. I'm not gonna go over that because I want to do one thing about doing Quidditch. We're doing side episodes, and we'll probably do Quidditch as one of our earlier ones. So I'll go over everything like that there. I'm not gonna get too deep into it.
Well, I did have a couple things like the chasers and stuff, with the putting them through the hoops and stuff. Harry says that it's like basketball, but that kind of reminds me more so.
I have a note for that as well. God,
it's more like football. I feel like.
No, I mean like basketball, like throwing them through the hoops.
Oh well,
because
yeah.
he says you throw this through the hoop, and he's like, it's not
Okay.
like basketball. I mean, it's more like I don't know. It's more.
I think
like
I was going
Quidditch.
more for the positions, like the offensive line. You have this.
Okay, I mean,
like setup wise, you get your offense, your defense.
But like,
that
if
kind
you
of
think
thing.
about like the way it's played, more basketball, where the offense and defense are the same people. You go through and then go through, back, forth. Anyway, I do have a note about this real quick as well. I think it'll tie into yours as well, so we can discuss it. But I'm kind of like, why is there only one sport? Like, here's the problem with the magical community.
Well, I think a lot of
Is
them are
they
really hard to
only
pick.
like focus on things that have to do with magic. For example, Muggleborns, Dean Thomas, for example, brings up soccer, but Muggleborns, like, they learn sports until they go to Hogwarts. Like, how come no Muggleborn has ever, like, gone to the magical world and brought sports with them and, like, made it big?
Well, see, and I think they kind of try to combine all sports into one because
I know, but...
Because, like, the soccer mentioning.
Yeah,
And
but
then,
it's
like,
nothing like that, though. It's, I mean...
Well, soccer and basketball and stuff like that.
That's my point, though, is why only have, like, that's the thing, they only do things that have magic involved. They don't do anything that's not magical,
Well, because,
including
like,
sports.
because they probably think that it's less entertaining. Because, like,
I mean...
to be honest, I'm a muggle, obviously.
Yep.
And, just some sports, I'm just not a fan. Like,
Well,
football
yeah, but...
seems boring.
Okay,
to
but,
me.
like, what if you hate Quidditch? Like, Hermione does not like Quidditch, understand at all. Maybe she'd love volleyball. I'm just saying. But it's like that in this world, too. Not everyone's going to find a sport entertaining, but they might find another one entertaining. That's why you have variety.
Well, but just like football, even though you don't like it, you keep up with it.
Well,
You're
yeah,
like, oh,
but
who's the big
like
one
me,
at the Super Bowl?
I like football and basketball. I like basketball more, but sometimes I'll choose football over basketball. Sometimes I choose basketball over football. The point is, I have a choice. I never choose to watch soccer or like golf or anything. But like that's what some people do. They're like, "Oh, I only like soccer. I hate football, basketball." My point is, they're like, why do you only ever have to have one? Like I said, no Muggleborn's ever like been like super into like basketball and brought it in and like made it like the person that invented Quidditch. You know what I mean? Like they went from the Snidget to the Snitch. I can't remember the background. I'm drawing a blank, but like
The Snidget was a little bird.
right, but somebody invented Quidditch from nothing and had to like build up and make it into something. How come no Muggleborn's ever done that with a sport? You know?
Well, I think
Muggle
probably because
sport.
they're just so busy with their own stuff.
Or
I mean, they've had 2 wars back to back, so I mean,
Well, okay, but I'm saying like in general, those and they weren't really back to back.
well, technically, I mean, you had you had
They were over
Grindelwald,
10 years apart.
You had Grindelwald, and then
Well, that's
you had like
that's not,
maybe
but that's
like
not
a 10-year
that's not
gap.
Wizarding World in England though. It's all over the world.
Right, and then you had Voldemort come in like
Well, yeah, but
10
then,
years later, start the
yeah.
first Wizarding War with
no,
that
like
second Wizarding War, more or less.
way more than 10 years. Because Voldemort was like
Well, Grindelwald wasn't defeated until
1945.
right.
And Voldemort was born in like the 30s. Like he just started.
Right, so 10 years after that, he's like in his 20s.
Yeah, but
that's
he
when he
doesn't-
starts recruiting and stuff. For
Well,
the-
yeah, but
the
you know, he
war.
doesn't. The first Wizarding World only lasts like 10 years and it ends when Harry's born. So it's like 30 years after Grindelwald.
Okay, fine. They're like they're
I know. I'm
relatively
just saying. I'm not trying to be. I'm just saying. Back, but also, it's only 100-year span. How long has Wizards been around? How long has Quidditch been around? You know what I mean? Doesn't mean no one's ever brought it in. You know, it's just weird. It's just weird that.
Well, and this is also England, where they
and why not? Like,
rugby and
if
stuff.
they did bring it, okay.
Nothing against.
Well, yeah, and soccer, but soccer is a big thing over there. So, like, why? And from what I hear, football, whatever. So. That's my point though, is why, how come no one's like, and bring it in, maybe like, oh, well, you know, we don't, like, let's add magic to it, because that's what they want to do. Let's take that concept to add some magic to it. I'm just saying, I'm not going to keep going on, I'm going to let it go. I'm just saying, it's just weird that they only ever do anything ever magical, and they only have, like, why only one sport? It's so weird. Like,
I don't know. But it is a relatively interesting sport. I'm surprised, though, on how quick Harry catches on.
Yeah,
I mean,
but
don't get me
after
wrong, it seems
listening-
relatively easy to learn.
right. I mean, after listening to some other podcasts and stuff, like, I do have to agree, Quidditch doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. Like, with the whole fact of having to catch this, like, once you catch the snitch, the game ends. So, like, why, if you're down, why would you ever catch the snitch? You know, unless you have, like, 1,000 points.
They're like, oh, one game's gone on.
Well, yeah,
for
but
3 friggin' months.
Well, yeah, but I'm just saying, like, and also, like, you get, like, if the game just starts, like, if somebody scores 6 straight points on you and you just happen to catch a snitch right away, then, oh, you just automatically win because it's just, like, oh my god. It's kind of dramatic. It gives you so many points, you know?
Yeah.
But, anyways, I'm going to move on because we need to get off Quidditch because we're going to do an episode on that eventually anyway. So, Oliver Wood gets there, goes over the balls and stuff with him, like all his positions and everything, and
Does that little practice with him.
yep.
with
And then
golf
for the
ball.
rest of the night, Wood throws golf balls in the air, and Harry catches every single one of them. So I'm going back to my theory of last week real fast. I don't want to need to have a whole conversation about it, but I think this definitely shows that Harry has to have more than just born talent. There's got to be something in him that's more experienced.
Okay.
And if you don't know what I'm talking about, listen to last week's episode about Voldemort's Horcrux guiding Harry, and you'll understand. I think.
Also, if
think it
anybody
has to.
reads Attack on Titan, this seems like some similar stuff.
Right. Sure. I never read Attack on Titan.
They're just as characters that
But I'll
they
take
gain experience from previous
I'll
people.
take your word for it.
So kind of like you're saying, like because Voldemort would be a previous person, like Harry kind of takes on his knowledge and gains his power,
Yes.
even though he's technically
I mean, kind of.
not him.
It's a Horcrux, but
Right.
I know. Okay. Yeah. Sorry.
He's
I know,
gaining the memories and experience.
we move on. I don't want to have. We spent way too much time last week going tangents. I don't want to do it again. So, like about that, it was crazy, but I just wanted to point out. But what's up?
Harry asked a really good question. He's like, because the bludgers, when they're going over the bludgers, Harry has a really good question. Has anybody ever died because of the bludgers flying around? And Oliver Wood's like, never at Hogwarts. Because that's really comforting.
Well, I mean, that's obvious, though. You're flying. I mean, that's kind of obvious, though. That somebody would. Like, people die in Muggle sports.
Oh, yeah.
And
but
you're
it's
also
just
flying
hey,
up hundreds of feet above the ground. A
Getting
bludger
s-
smacks you and you fall off your broom and no one's able to catch you. I mean...
Although Harry gets really
Which-
lucky with that BS, though.
Yeah, which, by the way... Okay, no, I can't. We'll talk about Quidditch in a whole different episode. I can go all day about this, but we have to move on. Have to. So, where am I?
The golf balls.
Yeah, I
and
know.
it has
I know that. I mean,
Then we get that
we're
time
here.
skip of like 2 months.
So Harry awoke on Halloween and he was ecstatic when he learned that they would be learning to make objects fly in Charms class, which is the first spell I think that they learn in the book. Like
Swish and flick.
right. So
Shout out to Swish and flick.
So the students were split into pairs, and Hermione and Ron got paired together, which was awkward because they still were not talking. Harry got paired to Seamus Finnegan, and they were both unable to learn the spell. Ron was also failing, and Harry overheard Hermione correcting him on pronunciation.
Oh, God.
Yep. Hermione was then able to perform the charm with ease, and as they left the class, Hermione overheard Ron talking bad about her, and she raced off crying.
I think Kayla's afterwards like, it's no wonder no one can stand her. This is a nightmare, honestly.
Right. I'm not gonna do my famous quote. My favorite quote. I'm not gonna do it. I'm a little disappointed because I found out I knew, but now I have the book's version in my head, and it just kills it for me because it's not even like the same. Because in the movie, she's trying to teach him how to say Leviosa, not Leviosa. But then in the book, he's saying Wingardium long, get a nice long gaw. Oh, come on.
God.
You ruined it. It's the one thing the movies did better than the book. One thing. That's it. So, yeah, I'm just kidding, but I'm just saying.
I mean, there's some things they fail on miserably.
So, Hermione, I already said that. As they left the class, Hermione overheard Ron talking. I already said that. Sorry, guys. She had not been seen all day after this, and Harry overheard that she was in the girls' bathroom crying, which is sad. All day, though? That's really dramatic. All day.
To be honest, she has no friends.
But all day. And, doesn't it say somewhere in later book, she never misses a class? Did she not miss classes while she was doing this?
Actually, no, it does say that she misses at least one class.
Yeah, boom. So she's not a perfect know-it-all. She missed a class. She skipped a class.
I don't remember what class
all day, though. That's okay. So the boys headed to the Halloween feast, and they were interrupted during dinner by Professor Quirrell freaking out about a troll being seen in the dungeons. Troll in the dungeons! Troll in the dungeons! Thought you ought to know.
Although, in this part,
What's up?
very interesting how, Harry and Ron point out, so how does a troll get in here?
Yeah.
Question mark.
Well, I have that. Also. Oh, that was another thing I had. I forgot to write down that I had before.
Really big question. Because it had to be an inside job.
Yeah, how would nobody, again, obviously we know it's Quirrell that got it in, but even still, even if he's got an affinity for trolls, how in the heck would you just sneak a huge mountain troll into the building? Where did he get it from?
I would have said, he apparated with it, but then there's no way to apparate.
You can't apparate on the Hogwarts.
Right.
Yeah. So where did he even get it from? He's got classes and stuff. Where you just leave the ground, apparate to where trolls are, apparate back, sneak it in all before his next class?
Or maybe he had a trunk why can't I remember his name?
Oh, Moody.
Newt's Commander. Well,
yeah.
Moody and Newt's Commander, how they had those little
but
maybe that's how he got it in.
Yeah, maybe, but I'm just saying that's a pretty big thing to just sneak around the castle and let loose.
Because otherwise, you would get noticed right away.
Yeah.
Gonna bring a troll on.
Yeah, and how is he not the first suspect? He's the first one noticed it. And obviously, somebody a mountain troll doesn't just wander its way into Hogwarts.
Well, maybe he had to go to the bathroom.
There's no. It just wanders its way into Hogwarts. It gets all the way down to the dungeons before it's noticed. Oh, okay. That would be, unless they're in the Forbidden Forest, but I've never heard of them out. I think that'd be hard to see. Or hard to miss.
So the troll in the dungeon.
So...
It sinks into the ground, just fainting.
What?
it says in there like he faints.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Right after he says this, it sounds like
talk
he's been
about the most dramatic person,
like he ran a marathon. He's like, oh god.
Like again, as you find out later, it's all an act. So it's like talk about literally like overdoing your part. You know what I mean?
Like method acting.
Overdoing your role. It's like when somebody pretends to go in. I think I did this the other day too. But somebody pretends to go in to like an acting like rehearsal. Where they're trying to find an actor or whatever, and they ask him to get shot, and he like does like backflips and twists around and crumpled on the floor screaming for mercy. Like, bro, you just had to drop down. Like that's basically what it says. Like faint. He literally like makes himself faint about it. Like, okay, we get it. You're supposed to play like a scaredy cat, but come on, really?
Yeah.
And you make it all the way there before you faint. Anyways, so Dumbledore immediately sends all the students back to the common rooms. As they were heading back, Harry and Ron remembered that Hermione was in the girls' bathroom and didn't know about the troll. They decided to go get her and saw Snape heading in a different direction than the other teachers, which definitely seemed suspicious. Before they could even begin speculating about what Snape was up to, they smelled something awful and saw the troll walk into the chamber. They decided to lock the chamber because they saw the key in the door, but then they realized that they accidentally locked the troll into the girls' bathroom with Hermione. Once they realized their mistake, they ran into the bathroom to save Hermione. I'm going to stop there. I know I just kind of like ranted on, but that was one giant part, and I know I have at least one note in there, and I'm sure you do too. But let's start off. Probably the most logical question I have ever had in this podcast. They're a magic school. So 2 questions go along with that. 1, why would they need a lock with a key for a girl's bathroom when they can do magic? Like, if you want to lock it to keep students out, I guess that's one thing, but then take the freaking key with you. Why is the key in the lock? Like, everything is wrong about that. The only explanation I could come up with thinking about it is that Filch is a squib and he's the one that locks it, so it has to be muggle locked. But, like, what good is that? A, it can be unlocked with any spell, any unlocking spell, and B, he left the key in the lock anyway.
Yeah, I don't know about that either.
Like,
my whole question is like, they know right away which bathroom she went to.
well, the girl's bathroom.
Right, so like you're telling me in this big castle, there's literally just
2.
one bathroom for
There's
girls.
2.
Right, okay, so there's 2. How do they know which one she went to?
I mean, I guess you could guess. Like,
You assume like whatever one's closest.
yeah, I mean, I think they only know about one at this point, because remember Chamber of Secrets, they're like shocked that there's another girl's bathroom, but it doesn't work.
Which is why everybody else uses the first.
So
like,
they
that would
only
suck,
think
though, like, if you're a
they only know of
Ravenclaw.
one, so they're probably just assuming like that's the one she's in.
Right, but see, that would suck if you're like a Ravenclaw girl, right? And like your dorm
Well, I'm
is
sure the
literally
dorms have
the
bathrooms.
Frickin' thing, and like you have to literally
Okay,
hold
but
it in.
I'm sure.
to
Okay,
the
no,
bathroom.
I'm sure the dorms have bathrooms. You're being dramatic.
I'm
I'm sure
saying,
the
like,
dorms.
that would
I'm saying
suck.
it's probably the only like public bathroom in the school. You know, like,
Still
I'm sure the
sucks.
dorms have bathrooms.
Like, what if you're in the? What if you're on the other side of the
Okay.
building? You still have to walk.
Well, you know what? At least they have bathrooms at all, because the recent, remember, what was that? On the anniversary where they give, like, facts, the latest fact from J.K. Rowling was that before Hogwarts had bathrooms, that wizards used to just urinate on themselves and then use a spell to send it away. To clean it away. Yep. So at least they have bathrooms now, okay? You're asking a lot, okay? You're asking a lot. At least they have a bathroom. All right? Jeez. You can't have everything, Trevor.
Oh, well, and then we hear Dumbledore eventually talk about the room of requirement turning into a bathroom.
True. So there's no.
He's like, I had to particularly go pretty bad, and Probably exposed to diarrhea or something, and
yeah, maybe.
passed the place real quick. He's like,
right.
God.
If you're thinking that hard about having to go to the bathroom, then yeah.
And the room requirement's like, dude, please,
Please.
just don't go in front of me.
Don't make Filch clean it up, okay? All right. Don't send it away with a spell because it probably comes to me anyway.
Oh, that's so gross, man.
All right. Okay, so I think
I'm
that's
just gonna
all.
pee on myself.
Yeah, that's all you got. I'm
Alright.
gonna move on then into the girls' bathroom here.
Okay.
So once they saw the troll, so when they entered the bathroom, they saw the troll advancing on Hermione, and Harry decides he's gonna throw something at the troll, which I guess isn't a bad idea, but it's also like a troll. So like, what are you gonna do once it turns on you, bro? And you really think,
keep
like,
distracting
obviously
it.
he's not trying to hurt it because it's a troll, and you're gonna throw something at it and hurt it. But not a bad idea. But again, an unthought out plan. Because then of course the troll turns on Harry, which Ron then decides to throw a metal pipe at it to try to distract it from Harry. So it's just a triangle of let me distract you. Oh crap! Let me distract you. Oh crap! Let me distract.
Although, I have a couple questions. Because it seems like he pulls off like the actual like faucet. Like,
Well, yeah.
you got some strength behind you. You pull off a
Who, the troll?
no, Ron and Harry.
What are you talking about?
In here it says something about Hagrid basically throwing something at it.
Hagrid?
No, Harry.
Oh, he's Hagrid. Yeah.
Advancing on her. He's seizing a tap, which is like the actual what I assume is the faucet.
Well, probably one that the troll broke. Don't forget the troll's going in ham on that bathroom right now. So I just always assumed that it was one of the ones he broke.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say because like if it's a like one that's still attached, that's impressive.
They're 11-year-old boys. No.
Just be like, hey,
It's got to be one that they broke.
Hercules.
Yeah, no, it definitely got to be one he broke already.
Because then they find the metal pipe too. So
right. Yeah. So things are broken up. Let's see. Hold on. So Harry decided then the only way that he's gonna stop this circle of pick me, he said he's gonna run and jump onto the troll's back to try to strangle it.
well, and before that, he's trying to get Hermione to get up, and she's kind of pulling a and most people won't get this reference because I love anime. Like a Goblin Slayer kind of feel to it.
What? Okay.
It's an anime. Like the person's just like literally like in fear. They're like, oh hey, there's this creature. It's trying to kill me.
Well, she's scared because she's a 11-year-old
right, and you have this
child, regardless of gender.
gigantic, probably I don't know.
Right.
8-9 foot giant just walking towards
Harry's
you.
thoughts is, hey, these objects aren't doing anything to troll. Let me just jump on it to distract it. Maybe that will make it run away crying. I don't know.
I mean, he's got the power to get a faucet off. Maybe he can, put him in the sleeper hold, and that'll work.
Well, he doesn't do any good, because the only way that he gets saved is Ron then decides to use the levitating charm that Hermione taught him how to do, and lifts the troll's club above its head, and it drops onto the troll, knocking the troll out.
I have questions about that. How did that also not knock Harry out? Because Harry's on its neck.
Well, yeah, I think Harry jumped off. I don't remember if it says that in there. I mean,
I think in the movies, he dipped out on that. But
it's gotta be a big drop. It's gotta hurt, and that's a big. Thank goodness Troll didn't fall on somebody, because that would be the end, right there.
Well, it drops enough that awkwardly enough that Harry can get his wand out of its nostril.
Right. Well, yeah. Let me finish the summary real quick, because we're at the end here, and then we'll kind of discuss the ending, because it all kind of goes together. So he lifts the club in the air, drops on the troll's head, knocks it out. Shortly after that, the trio heard running, and 3 teachers entered the bathroom: McGonagall, Snape, and Quirrell. Right as McGonagall started to tell them off, Hermione interrupted her and lied to McGonagall, telling her that she thought she could fight the troll and that Harry and Ron went after her to stop her. McGonagall decides she's going to give the boys 5 points each and take for bravery or whatever and sheer luck, and take 5 away from Hermione for stupidity. And the boys headed up to the common room after Hermione, And once they all saw each other, they said thanks, and they became friends from there on out.
I'm not gonna lie, that's a little harsh, don't you think?
I mean, I have many things to discuss in this end part. Let's just start with this. 5 points is pretty
tame.
Horrible. What? Horrible.
I mean, they've gotten like 20, 30, 40 points taken from them.
Exactly.
At certain times. So 5
for
points,
nothing.
For 5 points, I mean, it sucks, but
no.
I'll take that 5 points, man.
No, 5 points. Okay, they've gotten 30 points taken away for them for being annoying. They get 5 points for saving Hermione's life, not dying, knocking out a mountain troll that could potentially have hurt many students, saving the day, basically. 5 points. And Hermione for breaking rules, going after a troll stupidly, risking her life and the 2 boys' lives. She only gets 5 taken away from her. Like, the fluctuity of McGonagall taking points throughout the series is ridiculous. Either she doesn't know what she's doing, or you can just tell the level of impatience she gains with the trio. Based on the points. She's like, you know what? I'm sick of your crap by the 3rd book. Take him 20 points apiece. I'm out. Well, Professor, we only got a C on our test. I don't care.
I honestly I have to agree with you. I think she starts she eventually she's like, dude, every single time it is you. Why is it you? She even says that, I think, in like 6
yeah,
book
why
6
is
or
it
7.
always you? No, it's before that. I don't remember.
She's like,
was before that.
Why it's always you.
Yeah, it's always you
guys.
Yep.
Like, really, guys?
Yes.
And they're like, well, it's not our fault. Trouble follow us.
Yeah. I mean,
what?
Not so much there. They kind of were looking
for
trouble. I mean, they would have go save from Randy. But there's a couple things. So
I think Harry brings up a good point.
Yep.
He's like, she wouldn't be in this situation if it wasn't for us being kind of douchebags to her. Like, we wouldn't have to have saved her.
yeah. But anyway, so you're kind of backtracking a little bit to keep moving along here. My next question is, why on earth, and I'm saving the big question for the end here, but why on earth would Hermione lie about the reason they're even in that situation? Like, she thinks that, okay, so let me put the 2 scenarios together. Her thought is, this sounds better. I read about trolls, thought I could fight them. Harry and Ron, so I'm breaking the rules, going to fight a mountain troll that I know that I think I can take on, that adult wizards can't take on. Harry and Ron are going to break the rules to come after me, yes, chivalrously, but breaking the rules instead of telling a teacher that I went, they're going to come save me themselves and try to stop me. Now we're all in the wrong here, and we're all doing it for dumb reasons. Instead, the real story here, Hermione's in the bathroom, now crying. Now, she doesn't necessarily have to give them the reason she's crying, so she's trying to save Harry and Ron from getting in trouble for that. That's dumb, because you could just say, I overheard somebody talking bad about me and I got sad and went in the bathroom to cry. Or you can just say, hey, I had to use the bathroom while I was eating and there's only one in the school, so I had to go to the bathroom. So I was in the bathroom. Harry and Ron started heading up with the rest of them and remembered that I'm in the bathroom, I don't know about the troll, and knew that there was no time to let anybody know. They didn't want to waste time, so they decided to come get me. Again, breaking rules, but for more of a like, hey, instead of like telling a teacher to stop her, she might already be fighting the troll. We don't have time to waste. Let's go try to grab her and get back to the common room. Instead of let's all go take on the troll ourselves. Because their intention was never to go after the troll. Their intention was to get her. But her story, their intention is to go find the troll. How does her story make more sense than the actual story itself? What's the point in lying?
I feel like, and this is just my opinion, I think part of it is like, she wanted, even if it's just to the teachers, to seem like she thought she knew what she was doing. You know, she wants to seem competent.
No, but the thing is, she doesn't even have to go to that point. She could just have been like, I didn't know about the troll. I was in the bathroom. Harry and Ron knew I was in the bathroom, and they came to help me because I didn't know about the troll. Instead of like again, that's like, okay, well, it wasn't your fault. You didn't know about the troll. Ron and Harry did what they had to do. They got trying to avoid the troll altogether. Instead of, oh, I decided I could take the troll and I'm an idiot, so I'm going to break the rules, and that sounds even better. What?
Or maybe she thought, like, point-wise, she was like, okay, if I take the fall, maybe they can gain, like, and I make them to be out as heroes, maybe we can salvage some kind of points.
Okay.
Because if she goes the other route and gets them in trouble, now they're down 10 points, and...
I don't think they get in trouble either way. Because either way, they're saving her. I think they get more trouble with her story because instead of saying, hey, Percy, Hermione's dipping to go take on the troll, they're like, oh crap, Hermione's in the troll. It could already be too late. We don't have time to tell Percy. Again, instead of, their whole point is, she's saying that she followed them, or they followed her. She went to go find the troll, find herself in danger. They went to go stop her, thus following her to the troll to danger. Either way, they're breaking the rules and going to danger knowingly. Instead, the real story is she has no idea about the troll, so it's not her fault she didn't know about the troll. She's just in the bathroom. Which, unless it's illegal to be in the bathroom, which doesn't make any sense.
According to that stuff you were reading, I mean, she
okay.
should have just wetted herself and been like, oh,
but she was crying. But I'm just saying. And so she didn't know about it, and Ron and Harry feel like they have to make the decision because they have no other choice, and they're not trying to find the troll and find danger. They're trying to get Hermione and get to the common room. Guess they break the rules either way, but they're more chivalrously like, let's go get Hermione, not let's go stop her from.
Well, I mean, Harry was. Ron was like begrudgingly like, all right, you got a point.
But I'm saying story wise,
let's go save my future wife.
But story wise, it's just like I feel like it's better sounding to say, look, we just went to go grab her. She didn't know about the troll. We were trying to avoid the troll and save her, make sure she's safe. Instead of, she went to go find the troll to try to take it on. We decided to follow her instead of telling anybody about it, anybody at all, even another student about it. And we're going to follow her and try to stop her, which didn't stop her. And then instead of, like, dipping and be like, you know what, fine, you want to get in trouble, you get in trouble, and dipping back, we continued following her until we found the troll. Like, I just don't understand. At the very least, the stories cancel each other out. At the very least, the stories cancel each other out. So what's the point of even telling the lie? Why even tell the lie?
Okay.
Why make up the story?
Okay.
It's just...
I got one more point, and then we can do that interesting question I see over there. Maybe she's also trying to bolster herself and to think... Because, like, if she admits that, like, she didn't know how to fight the troll, she's admitting that, like, she's weak. And she kind of comes off as the person that doesn't want to seem weak. That's why she corrected Ron and stuff like that. I feel like that's part of where it comes from. She's not wanting to seem weak.
Okay, I'm sorry.
She seems weak.
That's the thing, though. If she tells the real story, she's not seeming weak. She's not saying, I don't know how to take on the troll. She's saying, I don't know about the dang troll. She doesn't even know about it. She's not saying, I'm weak and I couldn't take it on. No, she doesn't know about the troll. Whether she could take on a full mountain troll or not, she doesn't even know about it. What? Why are you lying? What is the point? What do you get from it? Just tell the real story. Oh my god. It's just...
Speaking of the real story...
It sounds to me like J.K. Rowling's like, look, we have to turn Hermione from a goody two-shoes into more of like the trio role, and making her lie here kind of does that. It literally sounds more of a plot point than it does an actual realistic making sense type of thing. Which maybe it is, but like, why lie? Okay.
Your good point right here. Speaking of them fighting the troll, what's that question you got right there?
Yeah, so it's kind of this question opens up a literally. I was thinking about it. Could have happened each book, but this is the first time you hear about this possibly happening. So you back his wand, shoves into the troll's nose. So my question is, what happens in the Harry Potter series if he broke his wand right there?
Dumbledore fixes it.
No.
Yeah, Dumbledore has the Elder Wand.
Yep.
Fixes it.
Okay, maybe. Maybe.
It fixes it, no problem.
Why does he not fix wands? Dumbledore doesn't know that. What the heck?
Probably because you didn't touch anything for a while.
No, it never does that. Sorry, my computer just like went black. I thought it shut down. Scared me. But, so Dumbledore doesn't know that Harry's wand is like essential to him surviving multiple attacks by Voldemort. But he never fixes Ron's. Why would he fix Harry's? Why would he even think to fix Harry's?
Because Harry's more important.
Maybe, but he doesn't know that the wand's important.
No, but how is Harry supposed to go about doing things he needs to
Buys
do?
a new one. and buys a new one. I don't think Dumbledore fixes it. I really don't. I don't think he would fix it. There's no reason for him to. I don't even think he knows he can fix it with the Elder Wand.
Well,
I don't
he
think
might
he knows
not
the full
have, but like
power of
after
it.
book 4, when he realizes, oh, twin cores, I'm pretty sure after anything after that point.
At that point, if he breaks it in book 1, Harry might have tossed to pieces. Why keep a broken wand if he wants to go buy a new one? You know what I mean?
You're not wrong.
I'm just saying, okay, so let's speculate here.
Okay,
Let's say,
assuming he breaks his wand.
fine,
right?
there's 2 paths here, okay? He breaks his wand and Dumbledore fixes it and everything's as good as new. Which we don't even know, technically, if a repaired wand works the same way after it's been repaired.
We can assume so, because I'm pretty sure at the end of the books, the series as a whole, Harry fixes his wand because his wand breaks.
He does.
With the Elder Wand, and from what we know from Cursed Child and some of the other materials.
He doesn't do anything drastic in Cursed Child in that.
No, but we get to see him actually use.
Well, he
his
used it,
wand.
but I'm saying, do we know for sure that it would even have the same effects once it's been repaired? Okay, fine. I'll drop it because that's getting into gray territory. So,
No. So that's the first thing. The
well, yeah,
second
no,
one-
that's what I'm saying. I'm gonna drop the whole is it the same once it's repaired? So Dumbledore fixes it, and we move on with the series as normal. That's one option. Option number 2, which I think is a more likely one, just because I don't think Dumbledore is gonna think, okay, I gotta fix this kid's wand because it doesn't do with the Ron. I mean, I know Harry's more important, but in book 1, Harry's not more important than Dumbledore. Like, Dumbledore doesn't treat him special. Doesn't treat him specially.
Well, that we see. He doesn't treat him as. I mean, he does, but
Doesn't really. I mean, there's nothing special happens besides
as we find
until
out
after
later-
he defeats Voldemort the first time.
Well,
Like, Quirrell.
after we find out, really
Okay.
how
Right. Okay.
he was thinking, we get to see that
I mean,
basically raised him for
well, he
slaughter.
thought
So
about it.
I'm pretty sure he
okay,
would.
Right. But I'm just saying. So I don't think he would fix the wand. So let's go to the opposite. He doesn't fix the wand because he doesn't think. Okay, he doesn't think that he's gonna need the wand because he might even mention he doesn't realize what's happening until later on.
Okay.
So he doesn't think about the wand.
It doesn't
Wand's
fix it,
broken.
right?
Yeah. Let's say Harry tosses the pieces. Wand's gone.
Okay. Book 2 he might still book 1 and 2. He might still be able to survive some of the stuff.
Well, yeah, no,
It'd
book
be
3,
harder, but he
would.
could do.
Book 4.
No, but even before that, book 3, Dementors attack.
What? He can still do Expecto Patronum.
How? He doesn't have a wand.
Well, he's gonna buy a new wand. He's not saying he's wandless. You have to have a wand at Hogwarts. He goes and buys a new wand.
Right, but it's not going to be as powerful, possibly.
Well, maybe. I
so,
mean,
he might not be
probably
able
not.
to.
But I
defend
think
himself.
I think he would still be fine because people can still go on because he
Okay.
still will have a wand picked out for him to hit. It'll choose him. Blah blah blah.
Okay, fine.
All that good stuff.
Let's assume that he survives the Dementors attack. It would be interesting if he does. Book 4, like you were saying, he's screwed.
Well,
he
yeah,
dies.
I think he would.
He
Because I don't
dies
think it takes away his
before.
power. But he dies before because
Literally,
the
he's
wand
not-
cores don't fight each other, and then he doesn't stop a Vena Cadaver. He dies in book 4. Voldemort takes over. It's over. It's over.
Or what we might see is, because we kind of see that in book 7, is that he dies, comes back. Kind of like the one can't live without the one can't live while the other one survives kind of thing.
Okay, fine. So he lives in book 4
So
because of that.
basically Harry gets basically one free. Hey, here's this one up. Like Mario Kart. Here's the one up. Yeah, got another life.
Right.
Dies immediately again after that because
Right.
as soon as he comes back, Voldemort's not gonna be like, oh, you came back, dude. Let me let you live.
Right.
No.
Well, okay,
kills
fine.
again.
Yeah, we can. Let's say book 4 though. He dies, comes back. Okay. Like you said,
Voldemort
again,
doesn't kill
either
him.
Voldemort's gonna kill him again right away, or he's gonna play dead and he's gonna somehow get out of it. Death Eaters are gonna leave him, whatever, and then he's gonna dip out. Book 7, he's dead. He's dead in book 7.
Yeah, no. If he doesn't have his wand, he literally dies. In book 4, anything after book 4, he pretty much needed his wand to do all that stuff. Probably would have died.
Well, I'm saying for sure, if he can do all the spells he can with the new wand, he dies for sure in book 7. Either, take your number of picks. When the wand protects him when they're flying to the out of the Privet Drive, the wand protects him. The wand protects, or let's say he makes it all the way to the end. All the way to the end.
The Triwizard Tournament's done, you know.
No, yeah, it makes it all the way to the end to the book. He makes it all the way to the point where he's giving himself up to Voldemort. He's like, I gotta go, let Voldemort kill me. Goes all the way to the end. Voldemort kills him. He doesn't come back. It's over. It's over.
What do you mean? Oh, you're saying like at the very, very end?
The very, very end, when he walks into the Forbidden Forest and gives himself up willingly, he doesn't come back.
Well, it never says that the wand is the reason that he doesn't come back.
No, but he's already exhausted his
oh, well...
Well, no.
Unless it's like... Because it's never really explored. Because, like, hypothetically, he has a... What if, like...
Well, wait, time out. Actually,
his mother's love is acting as, like, a pseudo-Horcrux.
So, actually, let me play it out this way.
Or a perfected version of a Horcrux.
Let me play it out this way. I'm going to take a different approach here. It's never stated he can only come back once.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Like the mother's blood acts as like
lives inside
a perfected
Voldemort.
Horcrux. It will constantly let you come back, because you always have your mother's blood running through you, and like the protection is there because you are her son. So because the protection runs through your veins, you literally have the ultimate protect. Like nothing.
If you're
can kill
thinking
you.
of it that way, after book 4, because he only really almost dies from Voldemort in book 4, after Voldemort's taking his blood.
Well, and then he almost dies in books. He dies in book 7. Comes back.
Well, yeah, he doesn't die. He goes and he doesn't actually die. He goes to the
purgatory,
but he comes back.
He dies. He goes to purgatory.
But no, he doesn't act the same. No, he doesn't actually die. He can't die. Voldemort can't kill him because of his mother's protection. The same thing happens when he's a baby. He just doesn't know it. And he probably doesn't make the decision. He probably just stays alive.
So realistically, it basically comes down to, can he revive more than once?
Yes. So there's two ways to go here.
Then literally the wand means nothing.
Yeah, if he can, the wand means nothing. He can have a whole random wand. Everything plays out the same way.
And then basically that, like you were saying earlier.
Like the wand saved him for no reason because he couldn't die anyway.
It was just an added protection.
It was just an added protection. So they didn't have to explain all that crap earlier in the books. Basically. Is what it is. So if that's
which would
the case,
be more frustrating.
But if you can be revived more than once, if you like kind of exhaust it after that,
like you're basically running on a 2-life kind of thing. Oh, hey, first life, you're done.
Right.
Okay, now you're down to your last life. You die. It's GG. You're for real dead.
But here's the other question I have: is if Harry's blood protects him from Voldemort because his mother's love is in it, it's in Harry's blood technically. So
why does Voldemort die that one time?
No, because Harry's protected, not Voldemort.
Well,
her love, but she sacrificed herself for Harry. That's where it comes in. Her love is for Harry, so because her love lives inside of Harry, is it just, that's what I'm saying. So why does Voldemort have to use her? Like, is it only because he has Harry's blood in him that the love, like, because Harry's got his mother's love in his blood. So he's got his blood inside of him. So he's got it there. So is it just the fact that Voldemort has Harry's blood in him that it kind of clashes out the love, if that makes sense? So
then, in that case, it boils down basically to a wand situation where wand core, done, can't kill each other.
Right, but yeah. Like I'm saying though, like, so that is because obviously, like,
I mean, in that case,
is it only Voldemort that couldn't kill Harry, or could none of the Death Eaters kill Harry? That kind of thing. We're under the impression that anyone else could have killed him.
See, that goes back to Tawani's, and I know we're going on a tangent here, but this is a really important tangent. The prophecy says that a lot of people, there's a theory that interprets that the fact that the prophecy says one can't survive while the other is still alive, and they can only kill each other. So is that to assume that,
it doesn't say that they can only kill each other.
It heavily implies that, like,
no, it says neither can survive, neither can live while the other survives.
Right, implying that there's another part in there that basically makes it so that, like, the only way either one the only way they can die is one kills the other. Nobody else can be the one to kill them.
No, I don't think. I think, but that's the thing. Okay, prophecies. It's even mentioned in the series. Prophecies aren't a rule. They're like.
Right, but
they're only executed by people trying to execute them.
Right, but Voldemort basically makes it a self-fulfilling prophecy.
That's what I'm saying. So prophecies aren't a rule. They don't have to happen in that way, but they happen in that way because the people that hear them take them as a rule. Like, for example, Voldemort only marked Harry as a sequel because the prophecy, not because he had to, but because the prophecy said you will mark him as your equal, and him trying to avoid him taking the prophecy as a rule. He tries to
It's like time travel.
What do you mean?
Like you can't fix anything that's already happened. It's going to happen one way or another. Either you are going to force it to happen, i.e., Voldemort killing Harry, or Harry basically saving himself in the future past with the whole time turner nonsense thing.
Well, I mean, yes
and
no.
What has happened and what will happen have already happened, so there's literally no point in trying to...
Well, no, that's not true, though. There are many prophecies that never come to fruition. Because if you don't hear the prophecy, it won't happen. I mean, it could happen by randomness, but it doesn't mean it will happen. But the whole point is, because Voldemort heard the prophecy, he tried to avoid the prophecy, in turn, doing exactly what the prophecy stated. If he never tried to kill Harry, the prophecy doesn't matter. But because he tried to kill Harry because he thought that was a rule, not an idea type of thing.
And we don't know that the prophecies haven't come true because nobody's heard them.
Well,
so you can't hear the...
But it's said somewhere. I can't remember where. It said it in there. All of that, like that. There are any prophecies that never come true. So it says here, the Dark Lord will mark him as his equal, but he will have power the Dark Lord knows not, and either must die at the hand of the other, for neither can live while the other survives.
Right. They must die by...
Yeah, but...
By either... One of them has to kill the other.
Well, no, it's...
That's what people have interpreted as...
Right,
like,
but it doesn't
they're
really
the only
matter.
Two that can kill each other.
Because I think it's more of like that... More of like a... Like, neither can... Like, they... Be only because... It's mentioned in there, too. It's only because they want each other. Like, it's not that no one can kill them. It's that they won't be happy unless one of them gets the other. Like, Voldemort, like, don't touch him, he's mine. They could have killed him. They could have killed the Dark Death Eaters, but Voldemort wanted to finish the job himself. That's arrogance. That's what it's stating. The Death Eaters could have killed him. Because the prophecy, again, a prophecy doesn't mean this is the rule. If it doesn't happen this way, it won't happen. It's just saying, like, basically, like, predicting, like, okay, well, basically it's predicting, okay, Voldemort's going to mark Harry, and arrogance is going to want him to be the one to kill Harry, and neither of them will be able to live fully until one of them's dead.
Right,
it's not saying, you have to do this.
There's a theory out there that basically says, because the way it's worded...
Okay, I don't think the theory is correct, but okay. Go ahead. I'm just
but that's
the
theory, is that, like, it's implying that...
I've heard the theory, yes. But I'm just saying, I don't think I don't agree with that theory, personally.
Gives in the thought, like, idea of, okay, Harry became more or less master of death, because he had all three in his possession at one point in time.
No, he did not. Technically, no. I mean, he
was
the owner of all three.
At once, it just says you have to have possession of all three. Harry has had possession of all three at one point in time.
He was the owner of all three. It's hard to say, though, because...
Because also, that's where the whole theory with...
But he didn't have possession. He didn't have possession of the Elder Wand until literally when Voldemort died. Possession is like having it, you know what I mean?
Right, but possession, you could have possessed something 10 years ago. You still possessed it at some point.
But, okay, but like they say, possession is 9/10 of the law, so if you grab my phone and go home with it, well, now you're possessing it, but you can't... But, like, I can't be like...
So I've had your phone at one point in time.
Yeah, at one point in time doesn't mean it's yours, though.
Yeah, it is. At one point in time, it was mine. It was in my possession.
Okay, but that's the thing, because you're holding it, because you have it. But I'm saying, he doesn't have possession of the Elder Wand until the very end. He doesn't even touch the Elder Wand until the very end.
Knowingly, yeah.
But, okay. With the invisibility cloak, why is it his possession? What makes it his? The wand makes it his because it's loyal to him. He could give the invisibility cloak to Ron. Does that mean that it's now Ron's? It's Ron's in possession of it, or is Harry still in possession of it?
No. He gave it to somebody.
He's
giving up.
As far as we know, though, the cloak doesn't have a mind of its own like a wand does. If I give my wand to you, it's still my possession because it won't work for you the same way. It doesn't automatically become yours. You have to beat me for it.
Okay. Just like if you steal the invisibility cloak or steal something, it's yours.
Right, but the thing, invisibility cloak's not like that. So, just because he uses it, like if he doesn't have it personally, physically on him, and besides, the Master of Death, the only reason that's even a thing is because you have an unbeatable wand that you possess in your hand. You have a cloak that makes you invisible so nobody can see you. And if in the rare case, well, it doesn't work that way, but in the rare case they do kill you, you have a resurrection stone. Now, it doesn't really work like that because a resurrection stone doesn't resurrect you. But I'm just saying, like, that's the idea of it, is you're the Master of Death because you're literally, like, you're using the three things to make you unbeatable. Now, if I'm like, well, you want to come at me? I possess a gun, but it's in my locked thing. All right, that don't mean nothing. You don't have it. I'm just okay. Regardless, that has nothing to do with any of this. I don't even know why we're talking about that. My point, not really though, because my point is, could Harry have died from somebody other than Voldemort?
I don't think so.
I think so. I think because they literally have stated it's canon that a prophecy is not a rule. It does not have to happen in that way. It's more of a prediction, and when people hear that, it's more likely to become true because they try to go out of their way to avoid it, which in turn makes it happen. It's kind of that thing like if you try to avoid something so much, you're inevitably going to force it to happen. Like if you try to keep a partner from cheating on you by being super jealous and accusing them of cheating on you, they're probably going to go out and cheat on you because like, F this guy. I'm just saying, you know what I mean? They're going out of their way so much to not make it happen that they, in turn, accidentally make it happen. They've said that it's canon, that it's, like, there are prophecies that have, I mean, that's what they say in it, too. There are prophecies that have never been filled because the people don't hear them, so they can't go out of their way to make them not happen. In turn, making them happen. Like Voldemort.
They've
again.
never heard the prophecy, so...
Huh?
They've never heard the prophecy, so how do they know?
Okay, but you're saying that the prophecy, it has to happen that way. It shouldn't matter if they hear it or not. Their life will still happen that way. Yeah. If Voldemort never heard the prophecy, or let's say if Harry never heard the prophecy, let's go back. If Voldemort never heard the part about him having to kill each other, and he knew there was a prophecy, he knew somebody was going to be born that he gives his... So let's say here's... The one with the power to vanquish the Dark Lord approaches, born of those with thrice to fight, and born as the 7th month dies, and the Lord of Morecambe is equal, but he will have power Dark Lord knows not. Boom, right there. That's what Voldemort knows. Okay, because he knows that, he goes out of his way to kill Harry, so it doesn't happen, in turn making it happen. Because Lily sacrificed herself, he got saved by love, blah, 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 blah. Made it happen. Now he becomes a Horcrux, and he becomes the only one to be able to have enough power to defeat Voldemort. Now, he does not know that one has to die by the other. He does not know that at all. He doesn't know that throughout the entire series. His arrogance alone makes him want to kill Harry. So, therefore, you're saying since they never heard it, the prophecy, it never had a chance to come true. Well, if I take your theory on that, Voldemort never heard that Harry has to die by his hand, therefore he could die by anybody. Because Voldemort doesn't know about it. Fair to say that?
Okay.
So, that is true, but that's not true. It's true because, it's not true because the prophecy doesn't really matter. It's not the way it has to be done. It's not the way that it's going to, only one way it can be done. It only becomes that way, though, because they think it has to be that way, so they go out of their way to make it happen that way. That's the problem with prophecies.
All right, we agree to disagree.
Well, no, it's canon though. I'm going to show you after the. It's literally, it says it in the books. But you can disagree, but I'm saying it's canon though. It says it in the books that you do not have prophecies are only fulfilled by people's arrogance to fulfill them, not because it has to happen that way. Anyone could have killed Harry at any point. He was not immune to being murdered. Okay. But Voldemort wanted to be the one to kill him. But Voldemort was the only one, ironically, that couldn't kill him because he had Harry's blood inside of him. And it prevented him from killing him.
Okay. I want to move to a question. I want this actually to be the question of the week, actually.
Okay.
So when they say that he will have a power the Dark Lord does not know of, most people assume that that's the love, and it could very well just be that. But he also doesn't know that Harry is a Horcrux. He never knows until the very end that Harry had. Even when Harry was like, basically reading into his mind.
Yeah. He
through the
never
last
knew.
couple of books. Before that, he never had an inkling that, and even then, he was like, well, okay, some weird connection, but doesn't know that that's...
Right. Yeah, he never knew.
Oh, dear God.
No, that's okay. So, yeah, he never knew.
So that's a question, the question I want to pose to our
I have
audience
one thing to say about that. We can make it the question, I just have one thing to say about that. He did know about love. He mentioned in the books about love protecting him. So he did know about it. So you can't really...
He knows about love, but he can't fully understand love because he was born of a love potion. That's what they're implying.
So they're implying it in two ways. It's either he... So here's the question of the week. Do you believe that Voldemort... The power that Voldemort... I'll rephrase that in a minute. Let me get this out. So, it's either the love... He knew about love, but he couldn't understand love, so he didn't know love, like he didn't know it. He knew of it, but didn't know it. Right. Or he didn't actually know about the Horcrux. So it's two different kind of knowings. It's he knew what the power of love was, but he didn't comprehend it, and he actually had no idea about the Horcrux.
And we know this doesn't have to go with the chapter, but...
Right, it doesn't have to go with the chapter, but it kind of...
I mean, it's a good question to ask.
No, actually not new chapter, but F it. So,
I like
so here's the question of the week. I'm just going to phrase it out for you guys formally. The question of the week. In the prophecy, when it talks about the power that the Dark Lord knows not, are they talking about the power of love, or are they talking about the Horcrux inside of Harry?
Or is it
something else? Yeah, or is it something... Do you think it's something completely different? Some other type of power? And feel free to not only answer, but give your reasoning about why you answered. Like, your theory about it. If you have any. Your thoughts or opinions on it.
We would love to hear that.
Yes.
If you guys want to contact us about that, we have our website.
Yeah. I have the plugs at the end, but we have the... That's okay. We can shout out.
www.hedwigsarmy.com.
Yep. And it's going to be on the homepage, which I don't even think Trevor's seen yet. Maybe you have. It's going to be on the homepage, so you can just go to the homepage. It's going to have the question. You're just going to have to fill out your name. You can put your email if you want. And then answer the question in the box and hit send, and it'll send it right to our email. Or if you prefer to just email us, you can email us over at hedwigsarmypodcast@yahoo.com. And another way is to answer us on Twitter it is at Hedwigs_Army. So, any of those ways. It's time to wrap up the chapter. We don't have from last week's question of the week. We never got any responses. It's still a newer segment, so it might take some time for those to come in. But normally we would shout them out here at the end of the chapter. But since we don't have any, I think we're going to just wrap the chapter up. It's kind of running long anyway, but we have some great conversations in here.
Yes.
My gosh, it was so much fun. So any closing words that you would like to say, Trevor?
No, but I do want to let our listeners know that next week we will be talking about Chapter 11, Quidditch.
Quidditch,
So
yes.
look forward
all
to
that,
lots of Quidditch. Talk.
All those tangents that we went on today, we will have much more of them to next week. So, yeah, sorry, I got distracted. Any closing statement? So that's the only closing statement you have?
Yes.
Okay, I have one more closing statement. It's kind of an announcement as well, if you haven't already heard. We are starting today. We will be doing live streams every Sunday. And they will be of multiple different fun Harry Potter activities. This week we will be doing Harry Potter quizzes. We will do 1 or 2 depending on how long they take. Wrapping up with possibly some Yahoo Answers. Harry Potter Yahoo Answer questions that we'll be answering live. But I have things like Trivial Pursuit, Trivial Pursuit, and possibly some other things. We're still kind of getting into some ideas. We have a lot of quizzes to go over. But we're doing a lot of other things that we can do live. So if you want to find us on there, you can find us. We'll be live streaming on Twitch under the name Salty Vulture, which is my live streaming. I've streamed like Fortnite and stuff. That's my account. So we're doing that every Sunday. The times may vary because we only do them before or after we do the podcast. But either way, we will be updating our Facebook page and our Twitter when we do go live. So you can follow us on either of those and keep updated so that we can, you can be notified when we go live. And you can come in and chat with us and have some fun. And yeah, I think that's all I got.
So until next time.
Yeah, until next time, guys.
Mischief managed.
We hope you enjoyed this episode. If you want to help out the podcast, please head over to iTunes and leave a rating and review. Also, please subscribe to the Hedwigs Army YouTube channel and follow us on Twitter at Hedwigs_Army. If you would like to contact us, you can email us at hedwigsarmypodcast@yahoo.com or visit www.hedwigsarmy.com and head over to the contact tab. Thank you for listening to this week's episode of Hedwigs Army.
Every great wizard in history has started out as nothing more than what we are now, students. If they can do it, why not us?